Hi, my name is Kona Mirabal. I'm coming from the Taos Pueblo here in New Mexico. I'm a full-time student here at UNM-Taos, and that's pretty much it. The University of New Mexico, for the longest time, I never thought that I was going to be in post-secondary education. And then one day it clicked, and I was really excited to go above and beyond from just my high school diploma. And I wasn't looking for anything fancy. I wasn't looking for anything too extravagant or anything that took me away from my home and my culture and my traditions. And so UNM-Taos, thankfully, is here and provided that stability and that community that I was able to fall back onto and really feel confident enough to still do both things and manage my culture and my traditions, as well as coming into the Western world and getting my, my degree and doing everything that I want to do here. So much. I want to do so much, and I'm a very strong advocate of reaching for the stars and doing whatever you want to do and making that possible. So my long-term goal is to become a holistic psychologist, and being the holistic part is pretty much basically being an advocate of old traditional ways of the Puebloan culture, of indigenous cultures, and then intertwining that with a Western point of view, being psychology. And so that's pretty much like my grand goal and my foundation. But overall, I'm really deeply in love with herbology and my culture, obviously, and my traditions, and being an advocate to the younger generation and the new generation that's about to come. I really believe that what I do today now is what's going to affect my tomorrow. And I want everybody to understand that we are writing our stories as we speak, and we are the editors of our life. But we can still, do the things that we want to do, and learn and live and love and do all of these things. And so that's pretty much the basis of it. And I wake up every day, wanting to learn something new and to always have a set goal, but always, pretty much, lack of a better term, go with the flow and know that is okay. As a woman of color, as an indigenous person, you don't see a lot of role models. You don't see a lot of people who look like you or that have the same, skin color as you, or the hair as you, or even simple as eyes as you. And that's really disheartening, to the point where it's like, if no one has done it, how can I do it? How can I be that person to break those barriers? And one day, as I have traveled the world, as I've, prayed and sang and danced and loved and done all of these things, I woke up one day and I think my maturity level changed to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm going to be that person to break these barriers. I'm going to be that face to the next generation to say, oh, if she can do it and she can balance both worlds, and she can balance being a very strong advocate to her culture and still participate in pretty much everything that I can get my hands on, while still maintaining and balancing the Western society, which is, post-secondary education in a college setting, I can do it too. And so that, for me, was my, and still is today, is my inspiration, is my determination. And if, it really is true. Like, if I can do it, so can you, and I want to be that person to say, I am lending a helping hand out to you, grab it, and let's do it together. Because I don't want, there's enough people in the world to be themselves. So it's important for us to be individual, indigenous, people of color, to break those barriers and to shoot for the stars and to shoot for beyond, and to be whatever we want to be. Because I always say, like, there's enough time in the day for everybody. It's what you do with it. So what are you going to do with that time? And so all of those things that I just mentioned, I think, is the fuel that really gets me going and really gets me striving and pursuing this. Yeah, so I definitely made sure that my schedule was a good balance between taking online courses as well as doing in-person courses. And I really do like the in-person courses because you still interact with people. And as human beings, we really need that. We need that connection of feeling nervous when you go into a class and then meeting someone new and then having a friendship and doing all of those things. But it's also really important for me to also have my independence and have that that study mind where I go into the computer and I really dive into that. And I always, I really did learn during this COVID-19 time that it's not for everybody. Online is not for everybody, but I'm thankful enough that my mind, body, and soul was like, you can do this, Kona. So I'm definitely one of the people that am okay with doing both things. And then just for anybody out there, I think that it's really important to just take time to breathe, take time to understand what self-care, self-love, self-awareness really means, because you don't want to end up in a burnout, because if you end up in a burnout, then you can't help anybody else, and you can't help your grades, and you can't help your schedule, and you can't do the things that you want to do. So definitely taking time for yourself and to really learn what that means. Yeah.